Hi, it's Z here. So if you follow this from the previous video where I walked through a demo of Glide and talked a bit around Power Apps, you've seen that there are ways that you can quite easily convert a spreadsheet based tool into a application. Now you would probably also have noticed that there was a step that I had to do in Glide in previous video that was a bit tedious in terms of having to sort of change the information that was in this sort of form into a single row so that Glide can understand it, and that kind of problem would be common across the board for many of similar applications like Power Apps. Also, you probably have to do something like that, and that's because they work by using the Excel sheet as a backing database. So it's really great for when you're working with collaborative data sets. So like example, everyone is maybe using a common data set for restaurant bookings, and you want to recall, add, modify, view, and not so great if you are after something that's a bit more simple, like a calculator tool, where in a way each calculation is sort of standalone, and you don't want to go through that process of converting your fields into a nice, neat database record. So there are a couple of more specialized services that allow you to do that. And we're going to look at a demo of one of these called Molnify. And I've chosen this because I've had a look at the rest, and Molnify is really, really easy to use. So it's very powerful if you want to get something out to the market quickly. So before we get to the intro though, maybe I'll just cover some of the alternatives just to be fair. So there are a few other websites that do this as well, Spreadsheet Converter, and the process is more or less similar and allows you to do like a calculator app where there isn't a need to sort of collaborate on a common data set. So each sort of calculation is on its own, and only the user who entered it needs to see it. So this is one option. There's another one called Spreadsheet Web, and similar kind of thing in terms of what it does. But today we're going to be looking at Molnify that I've selected. Primarily because it's just really easy to use interface-wise. So rather than have to do the sort of matching between a column in your record to a field in the front-end portion, Molnify does that or simplifies it for you. So how it works is you need to sign up. I've got a trial account and create an app, and you need to drop an Excel file here. So here's the part that's kind of neat. So if I have a spreadsheet that looks like this, where the yellow is the inputs in my native, to make this into an app in Molnify, you don't have to sort of convert this into like a single row. All you need to do is actually color the cells appropriately. So Molnify uses the formatting of the colors, where green reflects inputs, red reflects outputs, and the blue is chart data, and the purple is sort of like metadata in terms of your app name, so on and so forth. And you drop that file into here, and it builds an app like magic. So for those of you who want to follow along, I've put in the file here. So this file is exactly the same as the base file. It's just got the right sort of colors. And once you do that, it generates an app that is hosted for you as well. And that app looks a bit like this. So I haven't bothered too much with styling and making it look really fancy, because this is a trial account. So fortunately they don't have a free tier, so you have to pay. But it works exactly the way that you expect it to. So example, if I change this chart to say maybe let's half that value, 25, I can see the difference immediately. And all these I guess info cards also change accordingly. And you notice that it took hardly any time to get this up and running compared to some of the other methods that I shared in the other videos. And what's more is it also automatically has features where you can print out the output. So whatever you see on the screen can be printed out. It's taking a while, but it's a default print. So if the user wants to sort of have a copy of that, I haven't enabled it because I think it's a premium feature that you got to pay for. But there is a way that you can also save scenarios. So this is a sample app that they have where they've shared that there's a way that you can enable saving of inputs. So your user, if they sign in, I think they have some sort of sign-in system, you can allow them to sort of save their inputs and outputs somewhere so that they can just reload it when they come back to the app later. So really nifty tool set, and I'm just really impressed with the speed of how fast you can get up and running with minimal effort. So I will put a link of the app in my Medium article so you can follow along and try it out for yourself. But because it's a trial account, I think it expires in 30 days. So you probably have to set up your own account and mess around with it. But you can use the file that I've created just to dump it in and try it out for yourself. Shouldn't take too long for you to learn how to use this. And that's that.